In this video, we finally complete our first state on Route 66. Along the way, we're going to taste a cozy dog and visit not one, but two driving theaters, a covered bridge. We'll drive an original brick section of the route, the Shrine of Our Lady of the Highways. We'll stop at more legendary restaurants and bars. We may even eat at one of them. And more museums, historic gas stations, a rabbit ranch, a pink elephant, and more roadside giants. And finally, we'll walk on the old Chain of Rocks Bridge across the Mississippi River. We're definitely ending Illinois with a bang. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Oh, good morning. I think we overstated our welcome here a little bit. Not really, but we did ask for a second night, and we did spend quite a considerable amount of money in the business. They have some great Philly cheesesteak pizza there. Anyway, away we go towards St. Louis. But we're taking our time. We're gonna spend all day driving to St. Louis, pretty much. Let's try to find the 1940 alignment for Route 66 here on the way out. Our first stop today, and if you blink you might miss it, is the Cozy Dog, here on the right. Let's go around. Opened in 1950 by Ed and Virginia, parents of Bob Wildmeyer, which we saw his murals on campers back in Pontiac. In 1996 they moved to this location, and to this day, Josh Wildmeyer, Ed's grandson, still runs the place. Family operated for over 70 years. I think I'm getting good at this. The famous Cozy Dog. There's no one behind the counter. Should I ring the bell? Let's explore the place while we wait. Yep, yes we are. Just getting started here. I didn't realize that at the time, but I think the gentleman that spoke to me was the owner, Josh. I later saw he was being interviewed by another gentleman. Anyway, they are definitely embracing the spirit of the Mother Road here.
No, I'm Native American though.
Well, we're gonna start with the Cozy Dog, which is a corn dog. Basically, they claim to have invented it here, so. As far as corn dogs go, it's pretty good, but I'm no connoisseur. I also got a chili cheeseburger. This looks like it is going to be messy. Messy, but good. Here we have more memorabilia on the walls. Here we go. You may pause if you like. Oh, check it out, it has a map of Route 66. It looks very much like a Bob Wildmeyer design. We have a very long way to go. Let's check out this other sign with the map. We're here. Well, we're definitely more than halfway through Illinois. Now here we have two alignments. This one is the old one, but that was only an alignment for like 5 years. So we're gonna do this one with one spot here in the old alignment. But we're gonna stick mostly to the 1940 alignment, I think. Or 1930. Well, we can definitely check this one off the list. I mean, decent corn dog. I mean, actually, the highlight was the chili burger. And the young fella that took our order, he was angry for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it is his way. We're gonna stop by a drive-in theater that seems to be very famous, and then we're gonna take a little bit of the old alignment to see the Illinois Brick Road, which is a section of the Route 66. You know that it's still, it's like cobblestones or bricks. It's supposed to be a little bit bumpy, but we'll take it slow. Let's hit the road, Jack. Over here, we're gonna have to take the interstate for a little bit. Our next stop is the Route 66 Drive-In, which is still in operation Wednesday through Sunday with double features because, yeah, twin. It has 2 screens. It does have a low clearance entrance, but looks like some people have gone in through the side there. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, there's a way to enter through the side. I don't know if we could have done it, but that would have been a neat experience for sure. To do a movie here, like in the 1950s. At the Route 66 Drive-In. Still in operation to this day. They have 2 screens, and they sell refreshments here in the middle. It might have been neat to watch a movie at the drive-in theater.
Continue for 1 mile.
But logistics, it wouldn't have made sense in the scope of our trip here. But we know it's here. We might come back next year. I don't even know if they allow RVs. Well, maybe if you park in the back. Here we are once again paralleling I-55, and our next stop is actually a museum, which doesn't seem to be open. But I'm gonna stop anyway. It is the National Corvair Museum, dedicated to the legendary vehicle from the 1960s with air-cooled rear engine. Pretty unique. Well, here we are at the National Corvair Museum, and this one seems to be by appointment only. Oh, bummer. Well, the more you know if you plan to visit the Corvair Museum. Better call ahead of time and make an appointment. Let's check out this one they have here in the front and we continue. Well, the sign seems to be gone, but here we go. I didn't know they made a Corvair van. I think this would have been a neat museum to see. Anyway, onward we go. We're making another detour here to see a covered bridge. Yeah, there's all kinds of neat stuff, if not along, near the route. You discover wonderful things once you get off the main road, like this wooded area right here, and this beautiful residential neighborhood, or town. I'm assuming this on the left is like a cornfield, but it is early in the planting season as we record here in early May. Gotta give those plants a chance to grow. Here's a small parking lot, probably only good for a car or a small rig like ours. I can see the covered bridge back there, just a glimpse though. Let's go for a walk. Yeah, Pelicruiser, great rig. But one of the things that we miss the most about not having the travel trailer is our Brooklyn bedding RV mattress. Luckily, we're going to be resurrecting the old trailer very soon here, the original Mini Teeny, because no one ever said there was only one way to travel, right? So yeah, I want to thank our longtime sponsor RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video. And we had our RV mattress for almost the entire 2 years we traveled with Mini Teeny 4, which we returned recently actually. And as you know, most RV manufacturers will give you the thinnest, cheapest mattress they can get away with. And the quality of your sleep is so important that the mattress that you choose is of paramount importance in order to wake up refreshed, ready for a new day of adventures. RVmattress.com is a Brooklyn bedding brand known for top-of-the-line comfort and quality. And they have a factory in Arizona, and they ship conveniently to you for free anywhere in the US. They offer different firmness options, heights and dimensions, even RV-specific and non-traditional sizes to fit right into your lifestyle. They offer a 120-night sleep trial, along with a 10-year warranty. In fact, our first mattress wasn't quite right for us. It was a little softer than we used to, so we took advantage of that 120-night sleep trial. I told them, this isn't quite right. And they sent us a signature hybrid, firm, with a Glacier Tex cooling technology for our short queen 60 by 74, which is one of those odd and non-standard sizes. Brooklyn bedding mattresses are designed, assembled, and shipped from their factory in Arizona. That means they're able to use premium materials at a reasonable price with no middleman bringing up the cost. And all the mattresses are designed in Arizona by master craftsmen who have been building mattresses for over 25 years. As I said before, it is super easy to buy online with free shipping, comes right to your doorstep, vacuum sealed, rolled up inside a box, and even though Mini Tini 4 was tiny, it was still pretty easy to get it in the bed and unroll it. Really cool how it just inflates in a matter of seconds. Yeah, we love our RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, and I think you would too. So if you're looking for a new bed, visit rvmattress.com/travelingrobert or scan the QR code you see on the screen to enjoy an exclusive discount on your mattress with my code TravelingRobert. And tell them I sent you. All right, let's check out the historic Sugar Creek Covered Bridge. It's right there. What a beautiful day today, such beautiful weather. Which goes to show, if you want good weather, all you have to do is wait. The birds are chirping. What a beautiful place. By the way, this is supposed to be one of the oldest, if not the oldest, surviving covered bridges here in Illinois. And yeah, it looks like something out of Vermont, for real. Yeah, like many of these covered bridges we've seen in the past, they're full of carvings on the wood. Would that be like a contemporary pictograph or petroglyph? Well, it wouldn't be petroglyph if it is on wood, right? But yeah, very cool to be in here. Yeah, there's something about covered bridges, right? The fact that, they don't really make them anymore. It is very picturesque here. It's very peaceful out here. Now that the neighbors stopped mowing the lawn, we can hear the birds chirping. The bridge, by the way, was built in 1880, although some people say it may be older. Beautiful, peaceful creek. Such a beautiful spring day here in Illinois today. And now we're going to a place where a belly cruiser may have no business going to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that is the Brick Road, a section of historic Route 66 from back in the day that was made out of bricks or cobblestones. It's like red brick. It's on the other alignment, so it's a little bit of a detour, but we're in not that great of a hurry today. We have all day to make it to St. Louis. It is like 90 miles or something like that. Now traveling between alignments. It's such beautiful country. We're about to turn south onto State Route 4, which is the old alignment of Route 66 from like 1926 to 1930. And this road here predates Route 66, so that's why it's we're gonna focus more on the newer alignment, but we have to do this brick road. It's supposed to be totally okay.
State Route 4 south
an original section of the mother road. This segment of the original alignment was completed in 1931, so we're driving on 94-year-old road here. It is remarkably well preserved. I mean, not necessarily smooth, but considering it is hand-laid brick on a concrete roadbed, it is actually not bad. And we get a sense, a feel of what it would have been like to drive through here almost a century ago. Yeah, photographing your vehicle on the brick road, definitely a must-do, which we didn't. We didn't do it. But then again, I have all this video to prove we were here. And just like that, we've conquered the brick road. We backtracked a little bit to Chatham, Illinois, but the Railroad Museum seems to be closed, so we're going back on the 1930s alignment and keep heading towards St. Louis.
Alright, yeah, that was this is all we're gonna do on this old alignment. Now we're going to the 1930 alignment and we're gonna follow that one the rest of the way to St. Louis. This alignment was here for only 4 years anyways. Well, we're gonna cheat for about 20 miles. We're gonna take I-55 south. It goes exactly parallel to the Route 66, to the historic one, so yeah, we can cheat from time to time. We're gonna have to cheat anyway in Texas and New Mexico and Arizona at some point, because Route 66 doesn't exist anymore in some of those areas. And I'm not sure that it exists here in a passable way anyway. My book says to take I-55, so that's what we're gonna do.
And we're back on the 1930 alignment because there is something here on the right that we want to see. It is called Shrine of Our Lady of the Highways. The shrine was originally a high school project built in 1959. It actually sits on private property, but I believe it is okay to visit. Let's turn around here really quick. So nice to have a Class C. I guess you're supposed to park in that small space, but I don't really fit, so I'm just gonna stand here for a minute.
Well, I'm gonna be brief on this one because I do believe this is private property and there's no parking. That's probably, they don't have it as part of the book that I'm reading on Route 66, but it does have the sign as a Route 66 roadside attraction, and this is none other than the shrine of Our Lady of the Highways. Yeah, this is definitely private property here, but even though it's wonderful to have a paved hard road to travel, many motor vehicle accidents did occur on Route 66. In 1959, this shrine was erected to remind motorists of the potential dangers and offered a place to say a prayer for the journey. Here we go. We've been to all these places. There, sign the book. They have free rosaries. All right, another worthy stop here on the Mother Road, the Shrine of Our Lady of the Highways. Now the road beckons, and yeah, let's see what the next stop is. Beautiful farm here.
You can't really see them very well with this camera, but there are several signs, Burma shave style here on the right, reciting the Hail Mary, which seems appropriate. It's a long, straight, lonely, sometimes bumpy road. We're arriving at a town called Litchfield. And what do we have here on the left? Yet another operating drive-in theater. Let me tell you, these things seem to be still very popular here in the Lincoln State. It would be cool to come see a movie sometime, but that would be the type of trip better enjoyed with a truck and trailer, so we can unhitch and come with just the truck. So it'll be on a different trip.
Well, yeah, greetings from Litchfield, Illinois. We are on the Mother Road here, and this seems to be another drive-in theater that also seems to be still in operation. Here we have historic Route 66, freshly painted on the street. And as I said, it seems to be in operation. It says Friday and Saturday, free admission. Today is what, Wednesday or Tuesday? What day is today? I don't even know anymore. Oh yeah, today is May 6th for those of you, Tuesday, May 6th, for those of you keeping track of how behind we are. And yeah, it says Friday and Saturday, free admission, Shrek and the Goonies. I wonder, we should have come on a weekend. It says here that this is the last original Route 66 drive-in theater in Illinois. Enjoying movies under the stars was a novel experience in the 1950s when this theater opened, a time when most people didn't own a black and white TV. Let's see if this works. Press to hear Litchfield. No, it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, had we come 3 days earlier, we could have watched The Goonies. This would be a neat place to watch The Goonies at. I haven't watched that movie since I was like a little fella. Let's continue.
Come to think of it, I was probably in my teens, since that movie came out in 1985. Somehow I thought it was older. I was still in Cuba, so I'm pretty sure I saw it in black and white. Let's stop by the museum and welcome center.
Well, here we are. The Ariston Cafe across the street there is supposed to be pretty famous too. But this is the Litchfield Museum and Route 66 Welcome Center. Let's check it out.
This is another one of those small, hyper-local museums, but still, a great quick stop.
Old road map of Illinois. I had one of those at some point. A guitar. Oh, this is for the drive-in theater. Oh, here we go. Let me walk across the street because that diner right there, it's supposed to be famous. And it's been there since like the 1920s too. I think it predates the road actually.
It was run by the Adam family from 1924 to 2018, one of the longest operating restaurants on the route, although it was at a different location originally.
Since 1924, so it predates Route 66 by 2 years. Well, here's the story of the Ariston Cafe.
Very cool. They encouraged me to film inside, and it is very nice. I'm saving it for the next trip. Yet another place to add to the list of missed eateries on the road.
Most people so nice along the route, you know, even though I told her, you know, well, you already ate, we're not going to be able to eat here again. But she told me, you know, just sign our guest book. And she gave me a pamphlet with a history. She told me, yeah, take as many pictures as you want. Very cool. We continue south towards St. Louis. Peli Cruiser, by the way. I bought a sticker and I have this crazy idea to put a sticker for every Route 66 state here in the back. Let's see how that works. Here we go, Santa Monica. We're still 2,900 miles from Santa Monica. And we've traveled 245 miles only. It feels a lot longer since we've been traveling kind of slow, but that's the whole point of this trip, right? See as much as possible.
Next up on the route, Mount Olive. There's supposed to be this famous cemetery there. Here we have a sign with the 2 alignments, and we're gonna do the 1940 alignment first, and then we're gonna backtrack and do the 1930. Union Miners Cemetery is the only union-established and union-owned cemetery in the United States. Established in 1899. This all started after what is known as the Verdun Massacre, also known as the Verdun Mine Riot and the Battle of Verdun on October 12, 1898, where 4 miners were killed. Here we have a monument dedicated to labor activist Mother Jones at her burial site. She requested to be buried here, next to the coal miners that she referred to as her boys.
Alright, we're gonna go back, backtrack a little bit, so we can enter the town through the old alignment and see what it looks like. What it would have looked like to enter the town on the old alignment. There. I can turn on a dime.
Here we are, Mount Olive, Illinois. Nice houses. And what are we going to do here, you might ask? Well, take a wild guess. Of course, yet another vintage gas station. A Shell this time. The Soulsby Service Station, established in 1926 by one Henry Soulsby. It remained a family business until 1993. Let's check it out. They do have a window full of stickers and there's a sign that says they are open. It is open, although there's no one here to greet us. I'm just gonna roam around and see what they have. An RCA Victor sign, maybe they sold TVs too. An old rusted gas pump and a TV, probably from the 1950s.
It's probably the pump from 1997 or whenever it stopped serving.
1992, actually. Very cool to see all these old artifacts.
I remember those when I was a kid. The old fuses. My apartment building in Cuba had those, for sure. And we've got another customer.
All these old gas stations had this contraption.
I think this was for the oil, right?
This next roadside attraction, unless someone takes over, I don't think it's going to be here much longer. This is Henry's Rabbit Ranch. And sadly, the owner, Rich Henry, passed away on August 16th, 2024. As the story goes, Rich bought this property years ago, without even knowing it was on Route 66. Then he found out through a neighbor that this was an old alignment.
Henry's Rabbit Ranch. And here we have a rabbit ranch, I would say. Made out of Volkswagen rabbits.
As I was saying before I interrupted myself, one day he was driving Route 66 in Arizona and he stumbled upon Delgadillo's Snow-Cap Drive-In. And that became the inspiration for this. At one point he had as many as 30 rabbits running around, and you know them bunnies like to reproduce. But as of our visit here, there were none to be found. A neighbor is maintaining the property, but with Rich gone, he doesn't really know how long they will stay open.
That's where all the rabbits are buried.
Here's a big rabbit that you can ride. Where have we seen something like this before? Anyway, it is a great photo opportunity, so I didn't miss my chance and told him to take my photo. I know it's never gonna be the same, but I really hope someone takes over, brings back the bunnies. Otherwise, Rabbit Ranch is just gonna be another victim of time. Nothing lasts forever, right?
State Route 4 South, we're back on the 1926 to 1930 alignment, the early one. So we've been crisscrossing alignments here throughout the day. And I think we're going to the newer alignment again now. We're gonna, yeah. It's hard to follow the route in this area of the country just because. Same thing will happen in New Mexico, and I don't know if Missouri is gonna be like that. I think Missouri, you know, it's pretty much one alignment. Livingston, population 850. There's a pink elephant here somewhere.
This one has tourist trap written all over it, so let's check it out. Area 66 Haunted School. I see. They have several giant statues and quirky stuff. Okay, I'll bite.
All right, let's check this place out. Another roadside attraction here. Oh man. Oh, what do you do with an abandoned high school? You turn it into a haunted roadside attraction. That's what you do. Okay, here we have Area 66. Haunted School. So I guess this used to be a high school, and it is nowadays haunted. Check it out. All right, let's see the rest of the attractions here. I wonder, can you go in?
I guess it is open seasonally, mostly in October. I'm assuming right before Halloween.
Probably not open today, huh? Here's a neat VW bus. Very cool. Add your sticker to me. I want to see if I have any stickers left. Oh, check them out. Hi. An old satellite dish. Tie-in network. Oh, we have a flying saucer stuck to the high school wall. A great dinosaur. And this is a new one. A Trump muffler man. That I had never seen before. Marilyn Monroe. I'm assuming Abraham Lincoln. A green Sinclair dinosaur. A barber's chair for $500 you can have. Welcome to historic Livingston. Yeah, all the towns have these signs. It's just I haven't been able to. And this is apparently the gym, the gymnasium for the high school. Another giant structure here. Big boy. On Route 66. An old ice cream shop, which is open inside, so we might have a softie. You know, there's the elephant. I guess seasonally they would sell snow cones here. Here's Red Baron's triplane. And the pink elephant, of course. That's the one you see from the interstate. And you come in here and check out all these attractions. Oh, but there's more. Look what we have over there. I wonder if we can walk all the way over there. We should. Let's do it. Here we have a hippo. And the rhinoceros. Let's go all the way and see this muffler man over here at the end. I guess this also doubles as a disc golf field here. And then this one is not as huge as the other ones we've seen, but seems legit. It's a Harley Davidson muffler man. Incredible, all these neat places you find along Route 66. Let's see what they have inside. You see, this used to be the old gymnasium. Check it out, an old 45 jukebox. It's really cool.
It certainly looks like the 50s in here. We've got Elvis, the Blues Brothers, and the rest I didn't film, but it was a huge antique mall. This is very cool. Let's continue. Merrimack Caverns. We'll be going there soon. Now arriving at the village of Hamel. Population less than 1,000. Probably one of those towns where most people know each other. And there's a famous restaurant. Famous because it's had many names over the years. It is nowadays called Wheezy's. It was originally a roadhouse called Tourist Haven. Opened in 1937 by George Cassens, next to his automobile hauling company, Cassens Transport. And there it is, the famous Wheezy's. Let's see how much Hamel is embracing being on Route 66. Well, here we have a big sign. A big Route 66 shield, and I don't know what's making that noise. And let's see the interpretive sign, one of our last in the land of Lincoln. Let's check out Wheezy's. Probably not to eat, to be honest, we have another place in mind, but maybe have a beverage, chat with the locals, take a break, and see what it looks like inside this institution of the route. I really have no idea what's making that noise. I think I figured out the noise. The microphone is on inside my bag. I'm assuming this is the original Tourist Haven sign. It was also called Village Inn at some point. And here we have a map of the route. And old photos. An old sign here. I like it. It was also called Scotty's Bar and Grill. And here we have a map with pins. I should add one for Miami, Florida. Yeah, very unique. Very cool. Okay, here's a map with all the license plates, and here's the last trolley going through town when it was called Tourist Haven. We had a quick refreshment, and let me tell you, the people from this area are so nice. Everybody, wishing us a great trip on the Mother Road and asking questions and telling us information. I'm gonna have an espresso now, and we continue towards St. Louis. Today we're not really in the mood for road food. I mean, we've had our share of burgers and hot dogs and chili fries. And there's this restaurant at the next town that comes very highly recommended by that Route 66 book I've been reading. The Moon Guide. The book is a little outdated, but it has some great timeless information as well. Let's just hope this place lives up to the hype. We're arriving in Edwardsville, population about 28,000. Established in 1805, it is considered the third oldest city in Illinois. And we are now just 18 miles from St. Louis, which would be the finish line of our journey here in this state. Here on the right, the 1911 Bomb Building, which coincidentally is where we're going. A lot of these buildings here in downtown are supposed to be very historic. Let's see if we can find parking with Pelicruiser. This is it.
Did I mention I can park at almost anywhere? Well, greetings from Edwardsville, Illinois. Cleveland Heath.
That's where we're going.
Let's eat. Let's check it out.
It is pretty dead at this time of the day, so we sat at the bar and we're just gonna get some appetizers, maybe share a sandwich.
One Reuben, deviled eggs, and another half Reuben here, and egg rolls.
It's a pretty busy town, and here's the bomb building once again, where we ate from 1911.
Well, this is it. That's that famous bomb building. And now we continue. We've got 2 more points of interest. Well, that Cleveland Heath, very pleasantly surprised. That was also on the Moon Guide to Route 66. Great service, tasty food. Now we only have like two more points of interest.
Let's get to it. It's been a very long day. This is Luna Cafe, a known Al Capone hangout place.
Well, let me go to the other side because the lighting is brutal here. This is what used to be the famous Luna Cafe. It does have pretty bad reviews online, so we may not go in, but the neon sign, it is supposed to be very famous. Well, there it is, the Luna Cafe on Route 66.
We're obviously not gonna eat or drink anything here, we already ate, but we have to at the very least take a peek inside. According to what I read, this is nowadays very much the local dive bar, usually full of friendly locals, but not on this Tuesday mid-afternoon. I guess timing is everything. By the way, this was established here in 1924, and in the Prohibition days, there was illegal gambling in the basement and a brothel upstairs.
Well, there was nobody in there, and there's probably a reason for that. Just a bored bartender behind the bar.
We're gonna drive a little farther west all the way to the Mississippi River, chasing one of the many alignments of the route in this area. This one is gonna be really cool actually. It is the Old Chain of Rocks Bridge. Which, by the way, this is not it. This happens to be the Chain of Rocks Canal Bridge, which takes us to Choteau Island.
Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west, driving to the west.
Well, this is it. We have reached the end of the road in Illinois. Now, Missouri commences and begins. This is the Old Chain of Rocks Bridge, and well, here's the last of these Illinois markers we're gonna see. What is it? 4 days ago we started in Chicago, Cicero, Joliet, all these towns, Springfield of course, Normal, Bloomington, Springfield were some of the largest towns, and now we're here in one of the alignments, and well, tonight we're staying in St. Louis, in East St. Louis, Missouri. Let's walk the bridge just because it's here. Let's walk to the state line, thus finishing our section of Route 66 in Illinois. It is pretty amazing that this narrow bridge was at one point, I mean, it's pretty narrow. You wouldn't think 2 cars would fit through here, but maybe 2 Model Ts, huh? Back in the day. Yeah, this was a 2-lane road. I don't think this is quite the Mississippi yet, but we'll be there soon. Such beautiful, lush vegetation to both sides. Well, here we are, about to cross the mighty Mississippi River. I think I'm gonna walk all the way to the state line, which is just 0.2 miles away.
There it is in the distance, St. Louis, Missouri. Those are the two water intake towers servicing St. Louis. And if you notice, this bridge has a 30-degree turn in the middle, which was made allegedly to avoid the towers, but I'm not buying it. If you really look at it on a map, I don't see any reason why they couldn't build it in a straight line.
Here we go, some interpretive signs here. The River of Life. The mighty Mississippi. Oh, check it out. Mark Twain. I wonder if she's gonna say welcome to Missouri when we cross to the other side.
You see what I mean? Couldn't they just build it straight? Unless they started building it and halfway through they just realized, oh crap, I didn't notice those two towers there. In any case, I'm sure it was a challenge for early motorists. I wonder how many scraped that old guardrail.
So we made it. She never said welcome to Missouri.
Here's a great view of that, actually it's a 22-degree turn.
Well, I think this is such a fitting end to our first leg of the trip here. The first state, Illinois, the land of Lincoln. Tomorrow we begin exploring the Show Me State, Missouri. Now let's go to our RV park, and I'll see you tomorrow.
That's the new Chain of Rocks Bridge. Here's a better explanation for that bend. It turns out they needed solid rock to build on, and I guess that's the only spot they could find. We're going to be staying, as is usually the case, at the DraftKings at Casino Queen RV Park in East St. Louis. It is an easy Uber ride into town. I want to take a moment to thank all of you who show your support either through Patreon, or YouTube memberships, or PayPal, Super Chats, using the products that I advertise, or using my Amazon links. Thank you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to check out my website, travelingrobert.com, for some useful links. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and even TikTok at Traveling Robert. On the next one, the journey continues in the Show Me State. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.